Hello, friends. The 1,023 days of the war between Russia and Ukraine continues. The situation in Pokrovsk is deteriorating. Yesterday, the commander-in-chief of the Ukrainian armed forces, Zaporizhzhia, visited this area. He said that the fighting here is extremely brutal and the enemy outnumbers the Ukrainian army in manpower. And he promised non-standard solutions. The day before, it became known that Russian troops had already approached the city from the south to within less than 2 kilometers. Today, the Ukrainian military reported that sabotage and reconnaissance groups had begun to enter Pokrovsk from that side. Penetration into the city's outskirts indicates certain problems in the defense, says fighter Bonyatov. Ukrainian military observer Miroshnikov writes that in addition to capturing the village of Shevchenko, from where the shortest direct route to Pokrovsk opens up, the Russians reached the outskirts of Dachenske and captured part of Vidrodzhennia, which allows them to slowly reach the southern approaches to Pokrovsk. There are discussions in Ukraine about why the situation around the city, which was a clear target of the Russian offensive for several months, has deteriorated so sharply. Journalist Yuri Butusov stated that a powerful fortified area was built for the Ukrainian armed forces near Pokrovsk, but no soldiers were sent there, and the Russians took it without a fight. Near Pokrovsk, they built a key, finally good fortified area for several tens of millions of hryvnia, but they did not have time to send our soldiers there due to certain inadequate management decisions by the command, Butusov stated. Now the key, tactically fortified area has already been captured by the enemy without a fight. He entered it before the military command sent even one person there. As a result, tens of millions were spent, and our command gave this entire fortified area to the Russian troops, he added. Also, according to Butusov, chaos reigns in the command of troops in the Pokrovsk direction, and the degree of coordination between different units is extremely low. In the Kurakhove area, the main problems are brewing to the west of the city, where the Russians are trying to reach the highway towards Zaporizhzhia, and close in on the entire group of Ukrainian armed forces near Kurakhove. In the Hannivka area, the Russians continue to try to completely capture the village, as well as advance from its outskirts to Petropavlivka. If the latter is captured, the enemy will be able to reach the outskirts of Kostiantynopil, which will mean a big ass for the remnants of the Kurakhove direction, writes military observer Miroshnikov. Judging by the maps published by both Ukrainian and Russian military telegram channels, the Russian army has made significant progress in Hannivka and Zoria. South of Kurakhove, the Ukrainian armed forces found themselves in an operational encirclement in the Hannivka area, according to the deep state map. It shows a sharp advance of Russia from both flanks of the pocket. The road from it turned out to be completely in the gray zone. At the same time, the presence of the Ukrainian armed forces is indicated in the middle of the pocket. Ukrainian military expert Mashevitz notes that in recent weeks, the Russians have managed to come close to conducting a large envelopment of the Ukrainian armed forces operating along the Zaporizhzhia-Donetsk line. Over the past month and a half, the overall situation has obviously deteriorated sharply. First of all, in the Hannivka direction. The enemy in this area managed to force the Kashlahach River west of Vuhledar, as well as break through in the area of the village of Zolota, Niva, in the northern and northwestern directions. This, in turn, led to the enemy being able to occupy a large area of terrain, including Vuhledar. And most importantly, to reach the Sahy-Yali River from the south, thereby creating a direct threat of enveloping and bypassing our troops in the entire Kurakhove salient. This also led to the enemy being able to bypass Velika Nova Silka, one of the key defense areas of the Ukrainian army in this direction, on a wide front from the east and north, and create a direct threat to the local tactical encirclement of our units, both in the area of the villages of Hannivka, Asponivka, and to the southwest in the area of the village of Makharivka. As of today, the Russian group of forces, east, has essentially created the southern face of a larger operational tactical encirclement of our troops operating on both sides of the Zaporizhzhia-Donetsk highway, Mashevitz summarizes. The situation in Toretsk also continues to deteriorate. The Russians are rapidly advancing west of the Tcentralna mine, which they captured earlier, reports a Ukrainian serviceman with the call sign Miroshnikov. After the enemy took control of the Tcentralna mine and its waste heaps, they quickly began to develop offensive actions west of these positions. They are also trying to squeeze through to the northern outskirts of the city in the direction of the Toretsk mine. This is one of the serious defense nodes. After the enemy presses here, there will be no point in holding on, so the city can fall into enemy hands, he wrote. Also, Miroshnikov reported on the situation in Chasiv Yar. The enemy has occupied half of the refractory plant and has also reached the northern outskirts of this plant. It is already, as I reported earlier, surrounded from 3 sides. The enemy has also advanced in the Pivnichnyi microdistrict. Thus, the central node of our defense may eventually fail. The enemy's next task is to move to offensive actions on Dachenske and Kostiantynopil, the military man said. The Russians continue to advance in the Kursk region. They have recaptured another part of their territory in the area of the village of Plekhovo, according to the deep state map. The Russian Defense Ministry announced yesterday that the villages of Dachenske and Plekhovo have been taken under control. The deep state map indicates that the Ukrainian armed forces still control a small part of Plekhovo. Russian military telegram channels previously wrote that this village is already completely controlled by their army. Let me remind you that the day before, the Russians also made progress in this area and broke through from there to the Sumy region. Friends, this channel exists solely thanks to your support. If you have the opportunity and desire to support the channel, I will be very grateful to you. I also want to ask you to leave comments. This helps promote the channel. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.